Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Empower Podcast, a podcast run by healthcare professionals for healthcare professionals with the goal of raising transparency and awareness within the healthcare field and with a mission to empower healthcare professionals and beyond. We are excited to announce the actual currently ongoing hiking and walking spree that started at the beginning of June of this year and is going through June 11th of 2023. Our aim is to encourage healthcare professionals to prioritize their wellness and step outside of their familiar schedule. Let's make it a fun and adventurous experience for all. But that's not all. We have a bigger goal in mind. As of July 11th, we want to see legislation passed in the state of Colorado mandating employers to provide and support employee wellness. Our vision includes a minimum of 2 wellness days per quarter for all healthcare professionals, a tax-exempt minimum deposit in an HSA account per quarter, and the establishment of a third-party run retaliation department by each healthcare system. And this department is to be dedicated to handling employee concerns regarding burnout, unsafe practices like high patient loads, and other issues. Its purpose is to combat turnover, create a safer work environment, and provide employees with a platform to provide feedback to employers without fear. By implementing these measures, we can collectively work towards a healthier and more supportive healthcare industry. But we can't do it alone. We encourage you to reach out to your local representatives and make your voice heard. In addition, if this is your first time, welcome to the Empower Podcast. This is Season 2, Episode 5. We have our guest here in Denver, Colorado. It is Christina. Hi, Christina.
Hi.
Hi, Christina. Can you tell us a little bit about how you got into the healthcare field, what it is you do?
So I've been a CNA since 2012. So a very long time. For a CNA, I feel like a lot of people don't stay as just this kind of career forever, but here I am. I just grew up around the healthcare facility. When I was younger, my mom worked in the nursing home, so it's just kind of second nature, I guess.
Got it. All right. Well, welcome. This is part 2 of the show where we give a big thank you to all the members of the healthcare field. That's from environmental all the way up to doctors and even those who we don't see. We know you're number one. Thank you for all it is you do. Doesn't go unnoticed. Is there any special shout outs you'd like to give, Christina?
Just everybody I worked with and everybody I worked with in the past. All amazing.
Awesome. I dig it. All right. And this is the part so far when I have to ask myself, Brett, does this person make you feel empowered? And Christina, yes, you do make me feel empowered. And I'm sure anybody else that were to host this would feel the same way. All right, folks, this is the part of the show where we get to the juicy question. So sit back, be yourself no matter what, and get ready to be empowered. All right, Christina, can you tell us, in your opinion, what is happening in healthcare?
I feel like all the way around, it's a lot of burnt out. It just kind of depends, what kind of facility you work in and what kind of patients you deal with. The type of patients I deal with are very, very particular in their care and who they want to take care of them and this and this. The place I work at, they very much cater to these patients. And I know you're there to live and most of them are life care patients there, but a lot of them get too comfortable with the workers and then feel like it's okay to verbally abuse or, to physically throw stuff at the wall because they're upset. But, it just kind of goes along with, having more staff and you get more staff and you get trained, but the patients don't like new people. So then you're having to train harder and everything just trickles down into being burnt out.
Mm-hmm.
So when I train, I let them know this person is staff, they're going to learn your routine. If not, this is your care that's, not getting done. If you're able to speak and you can make your needs be known, there's no reason why, this person should be the favorite and this is the only person that can do stuff for you. And that's what drives me insane. because I have coworkers that are like texting me when they're off. Well, so-and-so wants me to come up today to do a shower. And I'm like, well, no, you don't need to come in on your day off to do a shower because everybody can do showers. Everybody can feed. Everybody can transfer. Like, we all get the same training. It drives me insane. So I feel like a lot of stuff when you are staff, you get burnt out easy because the patients are only depending on you to do stuff. And, after 3, 4, 5, 6 shifts in a row, you're tired. You don't want to do that. And then you feel bad because you're like, well, this person is asking for me directly, but I'm so tired. I've already fed this person 6 meals today, or 6 transfers, or 6 on and off the toilets and stuff like that. So it gets burned out very easy, but you're trying in your hardest to do what's best for the patients, but you also doing that, you don't take care of yourself very much because now everything's about the patient and it's not about you. So I feel like burnout is very easy at work because, these patients are basically depending on you 24/7.
Right. And from what it is you're saying too, is then they find a distinction between someone who's staff and someone who's agency or travel. And then there's a difference in how they feel they'll be treated. So they'll wait sometimes, say, for a staffer, or they'll specifically request only a staffer. Is that what you're saying? And then that overall leads to you just being the overall go-to professional, for them, as compared to somebody else, like you said too, that may have the equivalent training, certification and whatnot, but then it just comes down to the patient experience, which then leads to your burnout. Is that what you were saying?
Yeah.
Okay. Wow. Yeah, that is quite something. And I guess for me, what is your employer doing about that kind of a situation? Have you mentioned it to them, or has it been mentioned in the past? And do you feel like they're doing anything about it, or what's happening?
I mean, the facility I'm working at now as staff, because I work agency and as staff at facility. So the place I'm working at, I feel like they are getting better. They are hiring more staff, but I mean, it's also, they rather have somebody who's been there for years than somebody who's brand new having to learn the routine. But I tell them all the time, if you were to go home and live on your own and you need help, you're going to have to train people. Up here, you're going to have to tell people what cares you want and how you like it done. Because I can tell you, a million different things and, show it to you. But if that's not how you want your cares to be done, that's on you because you're not speaking up. Like the facility I work at, it's kind of small. It's not a very patient heavy, limit. So the cares that the facility I work at, the cares are more dependent. A lot of them need 100% cares instead of a nursing home, to where you kind of just get them up and then kind of leave them and feed them and then put them to bed. So this place, they don't want to train, but I let them know, this is a new staff, this is a person that's going to take care of you. You have to explain how you want stuff done, because there's one of me and 12, 14 of you guys. I have to get through everybody. You just got to get through one person. Mm-hmm. And so that's what kind of leads to burnt out. So once I start getting burned out, that's when I pick up with agency, because it's a nice break from dealing with patients being needy 100%, to where, you can go learn about some new patients. And then, if you go back, great. If you don't, you don't. But everything just leads to burned out, Mm-hmm. And then with the pandemic and stuff like that, it was just no CNAs, no nurses. Everything was just kind of going downhill. And then I feel like the patients just kind of found their staff and who were they comfortable with and just kind of stuck with them. And now that the pandemic is kind of slowing down and things are opening back up, and new hires are coming in and agency is coming in and getting less and less, they're still kind of stuck in that, oh, this is the only person that knows how to take care of me, and this is the only person I want.
Right. And then they'll legitimately just stop and like not only tell that to like agency's face, but legitimately just refuse care from agency overall until you're available, because you're the brain that knows their routines, right? And like you're saying too, the way being a CNA, you're floated around to multiple areas, and you're the brain. You literally are the brain of these people and what it is actually going on with them that day. The nurses only have what it is they get in report. Not that that isn't a thorough report, not to put that down, but that is the vital lifeline, I think, of the teamwork aspect between nurse and CNA and just overall the healthcare field. Because if those two falter, there's an impact in care. And it's amazing to hear that the patients that you care for, that they're specifically just waiting for you, Christina, and that even though they may have had a past, I mean, some of these patients have a past with working with agency people. So they've come up with their own, I guess, tactic for when it comes up to present it like a method, I guess, or what's the term I'm looking for here? Just how they deal with it, I guess, is the best way when it comes up, so that they get Christina or they get whoever's a staffer.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. I get that.
Yeah. And, I feel like there's only been a few nurses in my career life that I've met that, I've bumped heads with, I'm pretty chill and stuff like that. But, the only time I have an issue is, when you're, I guess, kind of, lazy about stuff with patients. And that's what drives me insane because, yes, I know that you're a nurse and, you still have 12 patients or whatever. But, I still have 12 patients. And then when you're doing stuff that's not helping me set up for good, or you kind of setting me up for failure with stuff, that's what, irritates me. There's a reason why things are the way they are, and, I know in the past, I feel like this facility was kind of loosey-goosey on stuff and kind of just let things slide. And now I feel like it's better with the new administrator and things are turning around. Mm-hmm. But, everybody's a coworker. You're there to work together to help these patients, I'm not saying stuff to be mean to you, I'm saying stuff that's true and that needs to be done and stuff, So, and safety is always a concern for patients. And that's my concern. Mm-hmm. If you're, let's say, a night nurse and the patient is on a camera for safety reasons, and, every time I come over, the camera's turned down or the camera's off, I'm going to say something about that because, that's a patient safety. That's my concern is the patient. Yes, I'm burnt out, and this makes me even more burnt out because now I have to have this discussion with you because you're not doing whatever because, so and so and so and so.
Wait, so would you say that, and you're not throwing anybody here, but somebody altered the camera down so they honestly didn't have to do certain work?
Yeah. So, because the patient is sleeping.
Right. Would this be nurse or CNA? Sorry. Hold on. Christina, I want to hear you. I want to hear you out. Christina, I want to hear you out. Was this a nurse that was doing this or was it a CNA?
So the whole thing was that this is when I started day shift. So when I went in one morning, the patient that was supposed to have a camera, their camera was turned off and the door was shut.
Got it.
So when I went in and I, spoke to the nurse about this, me and this nurse, we bumped heads more than once. And so when I, told her about this, well, I don't know, and all kinds of stuff. And then she was all, I take care of my patients. And I'm like, I'm not saying you don't, but I'm saying when I come in at 6:30 in the morning and this is the first thing I notice, mm-hmm. This patient has a fall risk. That's why they're on the camera. This patient has a brain injury. That's why they're there for safety. Little stuff like this can't be
right.
Messed with, because what if they fell out of bed and hit their head, or the camera was turned off and the door was shut. Mm. What happened if something would have happened to him during the night or to her during the night?
You're right. And you used your own assessment. It may not be a nursing assessment or verified by, document. I don't know how to really want to say this, but you still have your assessment skills. You're the eyes for the nurse. That's what I'm trying to say too, is you still that was your automatic mechanic though. You noticed all of these things because that's what you do, is you look for these kinds of things for the patient experience, patient safety, to drive it home, and for your overall wellness, going home and having peace of mind, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Wow. Whew. All right. Well, with that. Yeah. Oh yeah. Okay. Was there anything more? Yeah.
No, I think that's about it. Okay. Patient safety is always a number one concern. Being burnt out because of patient safety, there's a million different things that's going through my head every shift, and still trying to figure out where this patient went, or, is this patient okay outside by themselves? All kinds of stuff. Like, there's always just a million things going through your head, and then having to get burnt out because there's a million things going through your head on top of having to work 4, 5, 6, shifts in a row. So.
Right. Wow. Okay. So then after today, do you want to continue in your current occupation?
I would say yes and no. Mm-hmm. I like the facility I work at, and once I kind of get tired, that's when I pick up my agency. So I kind of get a little break. But with COVID and the pandemic and everything that happened, I wasn't ready to be vaccinated, so I did leave the healthcare field for about a year, and that was a nice break. So, I feel like I will stick with being a CNA, but, in the future, there's always going to be breaks that are needed. Mm-hmm. So it's kind of a yes and a no.
Right. I get it. And say, for example, a program like the wellness program that would potentially be passed as legislation in Colorado, would that be something that would alter your opinion a little bit? Give you a little bit more hope of knowing that your employer is looking out for your wellness, that they not beyond whatever is pre-existing. This is not to be discriminated with what's pre-existing too, but would something like that, I guess.
I would think so. Yeah.
Okay, cool. And it's just, it's what it looks like now. I mean, I'd love to have feedback too. And again, you can all contact that at the Empower email. It's the word empower, the letter A1 at proton.me. Then with this too, what would be maybe some empowering piece of advice that you would give for somebody looking to become a CNA, or even to come into healthcare in general, from what it is you've heard, even nursing, knowing it is what you've said through your story, anything.
I would say, it looks like an easy job, but it really isn't, everybody kind of compares it to kind of having a baby, but I'm like,
you said having a baby? Did you say having a baby?
You're taking care of 10, 12, 14, 16 babies at one time. It's exhausting, You have to have a good heart, you can kind of tell who's in it for the money and who's in it to actually help people. And then you see a lot of different stuff, it depends on kind of where you work at and where you're going. But everything's different, but you kind of have a routine of stuff. And people are always going to need help. So it's always a job that's available. And right. That kind of sucks, but
I get it. No, I totally get it. All right. Well, also to close here, just to let everybody know, one second. We also do have the hiking spree going on, and with that, I'd let you guys all know, for Mondays wear black or purple or animal print, Tuesdays wear blue, Wednesdays white or gray, Thursdays red, Fridays white or gray, Saturdays are open colors, and any of the days, because I know there's a lot of animal print fiends within healthcare, that's any day. Wear your animal print to be able to identify, so you can strike up those conversations while you're out providing wellness. Also, in addition to the rest of June, every Sunday evening from 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. Mountain Time, there will be a Spaces on Twitter called the Empower Community Discussion. If you haven't heard of them, Spaces, they're discussions that can take place just by having the overall app and having an account with Twitter. I've been in one with over 30,000 people and a presidential candidate. So just throwing that out there. Christina, thank you so much for being a guest on here. We appreciate you coming on, and we'd love to have you back. Your voice is so powerful. You're the voice of thousands. And Christina, everybody, picked out a quote for you all, because this is the Empower podcast. And that quote is, "Success is to be in peace and harmony with yourself, enjoying the moment." This is by Guadalupe Pita Betancourt. This is the Empower podcast. Christina, is there anything else you'd like to add? Sorry. What was that? Sorry, say it one more time. You were muted.
I think I'm about done.
All right. Well, thanks again. All right, everybody. Well, until next time. Bye for now.